Hi Scorpio, welcome to your December 2019 Astrology 3030 bonus love reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, I actually won't be offering those until around the second week of December. So just keep an eye out for an announcement from me on the channel when I start those back up. Like I said, I'm just not sure the exact date, but it should definitely be sometime in that second week of December. All right, as far as what we have in front of us, we have what I call the bridge and the gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. These are the past energies, present energies, future energies. Then when we get through those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards to attempt to bridge the gap. And then what we have as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Alright, so let's get started with the main spread. Past energy on your side, we have the Four of Staves. So this is the equivalent of the Four of Wands energy, which is actually an Aries energy. So this can just be saying that this is someone that at the very least you saw the potential for a long-term stable commitment with them, and this could just also be saying that given that Aries represents your sixth house, can just be saying that you actually were putting in a lot of work towards making that happen. Another way this could be playing out too, though, in a more simple sense, could also be saying that maybe this was someone that you work with who you actually really started to have feelings for and saw yourself being in a long-term commitment with. Trying to see if anything else comes to mind with this, but no, that may be it. And then maybe as far as perspective shift, it could have been around the time of the full moon in Aries, where maybe you started to see this person in this light as well. That's another way it could be playing out. So that would have been around the middle of October. Past energy on their side, we have three cards that came up. We have the Knave of Chalices, the Emperor, and the Magician. So interesting energies here. So with the Knave of Chalices, this is the equivalent of Page of Cups energy. And what stands out to me the most about this is it looks like this is someone who's trying to write a letter. Right, and then we see it looks like there's a bunch of crumbled up balls of paper already on the floor. Looks like he's crumbling up another one. So this can just be saying that this is someone who wanted to reach out to you and possibly even make a love offer to you to be in a relationship, but maybe, they were just really getting stuck in their head over it. That page of, well, all of the page energies pretty much are that one foot in, one foot out energy where they're sincere, but at the same time, they might not be sure of what they want and also, or not confident in making an offer. But then with the Emperor energy, this can just be saying that they finally, really got a hold of themselves and figured out a way to come forward. For a smaller percentage view, this could even be saying that maybe they decided that, it was just too much pressure for them to reach out, so they might have decided that they were going to let you come to them. And another thing this could be pointing to again could also be, since this is the major arcana card for Aries, could just be saying that maybe this was during the time of the Aries full moon again, where they might have reached out to you. And with the Magician, this could just be saying that was, they shifted into manifestation mode. So it looks like someone who definitely was nervous. And maybe even this could just be saying that this was how they were feeling, but they might have tried to give off the impression like they were totally in control, but that could have been where the illusion came into play, you know what I mean? So someone who was really nervous around you, but they tried to play it cool, like, oh yeah, no, I'm totally in control. But realistically, they were really freaking out over the whole thing. That could be how it's playing out too. But yeah, for a lot of you, I think the main significance there, though, could be about that Aries full moon, like I said, just because we also see the full moon in the background there. It looks like possibly even a married couple there too. So it could just be saying that they viewed you in the same way you viewed them, but they were just really, up in their head and freaking out over actually coming forward to you with an offer. And it looks like at some point they did get over that in the past. So that's what I'm seeing there. Present energy on your side, we have Desire. So this is actually the equivalent of the Chariot in the regular tarot. So this is a Cancer energy here. Now, what this can also be too, especially with the whole letter writing thing, is maybe this was someone who was at a distance from you, and still there could still be that work dynamic in play. So maybe one of you had to move away for work, for example. Maybe one of you might have gotten some kind of a promotion, and it might have been this person, because the Emperor can also point to like boss energy. So maybe they got some kind of a promotion, so they were actually taken away from you, and then maybe they were trying to manifest a way to get back in to the area where you live. That could be one way it's playing out too, because it definitely looks like there's pretty strong mutual interest there in the past. With this being your ninth house too, this could just be saying that maybe you're looking at things from a higher perspective now too. So maybe if there was some kind of distance, maybe you're traveling to each other, or maybe you're just trying to navigate actually working things out as more of a long distance relationship. Um, Trying to see if anything else comes to mind. And there could be some significance, even though this is showing up in the present position. This might even be pointing to that eclipse that we're going to have in Cancer in January. So that could be what's at play there. But yeah, in a more straightforward way, I feel like this makes me think there's some kind of distance dynamic between the two of you, and maybe you guys are actually closing that gap in the present. That could be what's at play there. In the present position on their side, we have the King of Wands. So we had Aries energy in the past. Well, we had a lot of energy there, but Aries was the one sign in particular. And then now here we have Leo energy. So one way this could be playing out too could just be saying that maybe this is them. If we think about the Emperor and now the King of Wands, this can just be saying that maybe they're letting go of that control. Like maybe they had some control issues in the past, and maybe even that's what was going on there. And this could just be saying that they wanted everything to be just perfect, with the whole writing letters over and over and crumpling them up and trying to get it just right. And maybe this is saying that they're letting go of that need for control a little bit and being a little bit more open with you. But I do have to point out that once again here now, before we had the sixth house connection, now we have a 10th house connection, because Leo is your 10th house. So this could definitely be someone that you work with, a work colleague in some way, possibly even a boss, and maybe that was where it became a bit of a difficulty for the two of you to be together, because maybe they were thinking to themselves, well, I could really get in trouble if I'm dating someone that I'm, working with. So that could be what was at play there. But it does look like the two of you coming together in the present. I mean, there's definitely some similarities as far as, we see them embracing each other. So definitely some kind of connection there, to where whatever the obstacle may have been in the past, whether it was just as simple as, like I said, their fear and maybe even control issues on their part in the past, looks like there's a shift here to where you guys actually most likely physically coming together in the present. All right, and then the future energy on your side, we have the Princess of Arrows. So this is actually the equivalent of the Page of Swords. So this could just represent communication, obviously, and what this could even be pointing to in that regard, well, it could be a couple of things. There is going to be a full moon in Gemini, which is the primary house of communication. But more importantly, what this could be pointing to for you guys could just be saying that this might be pointing to the new moon in Capricorn, which is actually going to be an eclipse towards the end of December. And that's going to be in your house of communication. And then it's actually going to be trine Uranus, which will be in Taurus, which is your relationship house. So this can just be saying that maybe in the future, the two of you actually start to talk about, taking things to the next level. So maybe this is just saying that these are more thoughts in your minds in the past, right? As far as you both see that long-term potential, this is pointing out the desire, because Leo energy also could point to an actual, just that passionate energy. And then here, this could actually be showing in the future the two of you actually talking about this and trying to manifest it into something concrete, whereas, so that could definitely be what it is. In the past, both of you were just thinking about it. This person might have even been trying to play it cool, like maybe they weren't, but really underneath it all, they were probably freaking out. In the present, looks like you guys are actually physically coming together, and then in the future, looks like you guys might talk about something stable, and that could definitely be the case as far as the future energy in their side, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So to me, that's, I always say with the aces as opposed to the page energy, or knaves as it's called in this deck, it's more in the idea stage as opposed to a physical offer. But definitely that could be just pointing to, again, that you guys are actually going to talk about making this a more stable long-term commitment. So that could be what's going on there. So in that regard, it does look like a pretty natural progression. And maybe this was just as simple as, you guys might have even tried to broach the subject during the retrograde, and maybe it was just crossed wires left and right. But I don't necessarily see any damage done. The only separation that I might have seen here in this particular dynamic, again, might have been because of distance, because maybe one or both of you got pulled away for work for some reason or another, or possibly the two of you were working in the same workplace, and maybe this person even went as far as to change jobs just so that dynamic wouldn't be an issue anymore. So that could be how it's playing out for some of you. That's probably for a much smaller percentage, though. And at the bottom of the deck on your side, we have Innocence, which is the equivalent of the Fool card in traditional tarot. So this could just be you taking that chance. And then what I always think of when I see this particular card is it looks like almost, it reminds me of a water and fire mix. So this could definitely be a fire sign you're dealing with. And that's just saying that, it's the two of you blending your energies in that regard, given that you're a water sign. But yeah, and this could even be you. Again, maybe you guys are the ones, especially if they were trapped in their heads in the past and trying to play it cool, right? With, like I said, that Emperor energy and the Magician, trying to make it seem like they're totally cool and not really stressing it. King of Wands, that Leo energy could be a bit prideful as well. So it might even be that you guys are the ones who decide, with the Innocence card at the bottom of the deck and the Princess of Arrows, that you guys are the ones who bring it up. And then actually they finally reveal that, yeah, that's kind of what's been on their mind too. And then at the bottom of the deck on their side, we have the World. So that represents completions. And, in this particular case too, it could definitely show, well, it can show travel for one, but it also shows success and completion as far as with the relationship. So overall, this looks like a pretty positive spread. Let's see what we get from the Oracle cards. So first I'll see if we get anything from the Mystic Moon Oracle deck here. And for those of you who haven't seen this type of reading from me before, I actually do pre-shuffle this deck before I start recording. But what I'm looking for here is just some jumpers. So first I'll see if there's any unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while and nothing pops up, I just take that as a sign to keep it moving, since it is just a general reading, rather than forcing, pulling a random one or something like that. So let's see if we get any from you to them first. Okay, nothing coming up yet, but I'll shuffle a little longer, see if anything comes up. Okay, nothing there, and now we'll see if we get any unspoken messages from them to you. Nope, nothing there, but I'll shuffle a few more times, see if we get anything. Alright, yeah, so nothing there, but before we wrap up, I will pull one card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Same situation here, I did pre-shuffle this one. And here I'm just looking for one with general messages, and then we'll wrap up. Oh, there we go. Alright. So the card you guys got is Blessed. There's the artwork, and the number is 22. We'll see what it says. It says, something wonderful that is unearned and unexpected, grace that is an unforeseen gift from spirit. The Oracle's message. There are moments in life when, out of the blue, it seems that everything has been orchestrated by divine intervention. You feel blessed in ways that are difficult to express. It's as if the Red Sea parts in front of you and events come together to banish your troubles easily and naturally. You know deep down you did not deserve any of it, and yet here you are. This is one of those times. Let awe and gratitude for all your blessings guide you now. So, trying to think about how it could apply to the spread, the only thing I could think of is maybe if the dynamic was, like I said, around work for some of you, where maybe you guys were in separate cities, and maybe now, for whatever reason, one of you gets a job offer where you could actually be in the same city as each other. Or, like I was saying, for some of you, where maybe the whole issue for this person was they didn't want to be in a relationship because they viewed it as risky because you guys work together. Maybe they or you get a job in a different place that actually removes that dynamic and you could actually be together because of that. Other than that, I don't really see, where that would come into play, but hopefully that resonated for you guys. And the relationship message says you are moving toward a deepening of intimacy in a unique and sacred partnership. You know you are meant to make this connection. This union, blessed by the divine, will bring transformation and beauty to the world. This is also a sign that, even more important, you're being called to a deeper intimacy with yourself and spirit. With this new development, you will see evidence of grace in your life. So yeah, moving toward a deepening of intimacy, like I said, I could definitely see where that could be the case. As far as, like I said, in the past, it might even just been that the two of you just were viewing each other as long-term potential, but possibly neither of you were communicating it. Because, like I said, to me, I feel like it might have been between the two of you, if anyone was putting in the work, it might have been you who was doing so in the past, whereas this person might have been more trapped in their head with that Knave of Chalices energy, and like I said, trying to play it cool probably on the surface. But like I said, it does look like here there's actually a physical meeting in the present, and then in the future, it looks like actually talking about possibly making something more concrete happen. So, like I said, definitely a pretty positive spread. Hopefully, that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there. Happy holidays, and I'll see you all next year. All right, bye.